Just very quickly, open your Bible or they'll put it on the screen. Jeremiah 29 verse 11. I'll read King James Media. You can put as well, New International Version. For I know the thoughts that I think towards you, saith the Lord, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end. For I know the plans that I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. John chapter 14 and in verse number 2. For in my Father's house there are many mansions. If it were not so, I would not have told you, but I go to prepare a place for you. Our subject is very simple: your preparation and your future. We have two objectives to achieve. First is understanding the link between our preparation and our future. Second objective is understanding the individuals in scripture who prepared for their future. I want to say by way of introduction that since input determines output, there is a connection between the man's future and the man's preparation. Since input determines output, output can't exist on their own. Output is a product of input. Therefore, there is an obvious connection between the man's preparation and the man's future. Jesus came from heaven for a ministry of 3.5 years, but he prepared for 30 years. Just 3.5 years of ministry, but 30 years of investment of preparation. No doubt till eternity, there is nobody who can deny that Jesus didn't pass through the face of the earth. Am I communicating? The impact is still there till forever, until eternity. For a ministry of 3.5 years, but with the preparation of 30 years. Beloved, I want us to know today that the future may be planned by God, but it takes the man's preparation to reach there. The future may be planned by God. The thought I think towards you is not the thought of evil, but the thought of good, and to bring you to an expected end, and like the NIV say, to give you a hope and a future. God may have planned for your future, but it takes your preparation to reach there. So a future without preparation is a mirage. You know, I believe almost all of us should have traveled on the road, tar road, a vehicle you are driving in, and you look very far, you look like as if there is water there. But when you approach the place, the more you go, you look as if the water is shifting. There is no water there. That is a mirage, just an imagination. Please, 3 things I would like you to take note of, in addition to what you have already noted. Number 1, that your future is a product of your preparation. Why do you say that, Pastor? What you put into life determines what you get out of life. If you put a hard work to life, you can't experience a hard life in the future. You cannot. In Proverbs 14 and in verse 23, the Bible says, in all labor there is profit, but the talk of lips tendereth only to penury. You are only talking about the future. When you are not working the future, the end is poverty. You talk in the future. There are many persons who wish, growing up days, they said they want to be pilot. They didn't even near anything that has to do with aircraft study. They talk it from the lips, but they didn't work it, and the outcome is nothing. They talk it, but they didn't work it. So if you put hard work to life, you will earn a better life tomorrow or a better future. That is why preparation is key. What are you saying, Pastor? If you play today, you will pay tomorrow. Some of us, our parents are still paying because they played. Yes, they played, but now they are still paying. They played at their old age, they are still paying. But instead of playing at old age, they are paying. Preparation. And the second thing I'd like you to note, in fact, before I go there, what you call suffering today may define your future. I remember in those days, they used to lock us inside to pray for 8 hours non-stop. We're thinking they were suffering us. You pray from 6 a.m. till 2 a.m. You are not going anywhere. The highest place you can go is to go and urinate, and somebody is monitoring you. Go and urinate and come back. Some try to dodge. I remember sometimes when they give us prayer points, some don't even know what to pray. So I will tell them, please add your minutes to my minutes, because what I have may not be enough. The time may not be enough. So if they give you 30 minutes to pray and you are not able to finish 30 minutes, you ended by 20 minutes, I will add your 10 minutes to my own and continue from there. But today, by God's mercy, we are not surprised. I don't know whether you understand what I'm saying yet. See, your mother is telling you, do this, do that, wash place. Mommy, this and that. It is a preparation. I will not say more than that. Am I communicating? Do this, a preparation. You don't know. It may define your future. The second thing I will say is that the future you are not prepared for cannot be your manifestation. Please never forget this, that nobody arrives at the future by chance. People arrive at the future by choice. God is a God of investment. He will never give you a future by chance. Because if you arrive at the future by chance, you will lose the future by chance. The future you are not prepared for can never be your manifestation. Let me say it differently. Nobody arrives the future by fun. You arrive the future by toil. Nobody arrives the future by fun. Let me go and have fun, and you continue with fun, and arrived at a future that is glorious is a lie. You only arrive at a future by toil, hard work, and consistent hard work. Am I communicating? Not fun. No wonder God's servant Bishop David Odepo said, a life is a warfare, not funfair. If you doubt me, check those your friends who say they are enjoying or having fun. Where are they today? How many of us know that as a student, for example, you don't do anything to fail? I don't understand. As that is, you want to fail, you don't need to do anything to fail. What do you mean, Pastor? Stop attending lectures. Stop reading your books. And then on the day of exam, you appear in your class and say, oh boys, men, which course are we writing today? So you don't need to struggle to fail. You have already failed. But if you must pass, you must do everything to pass. You don't do anything to fail. And if you are not a student, just wake up in the morning, tie wrapper. Don't go anywhere and wait for the future. You have already failed. Just tie wrapper. So preparation is key to manifestation in the future. Number 3, you prepare for the future by taking advantage of the present. You take advantage of the present. The present might not look like the way you wanted it, but there is something to take from it. There is something to learn from it. Am I communicating? The present might not be the desired. The present might not be the desired, but it carries a key for the future. It carries a key for the future. There is something, no matter how ugly the present may look, there is something in it for the future. I remember many years ago, I've told this story before, I don't know, that is coming to my spirit again, where I told this story in the church before. My primary school was free education. Nobody, just government school, primary school. I started writing and reading letter for people from primary 4. I don't know if that can happen today. We are elders, their sons and daughters in the village, no communication now, no telephone. We write letter, and then the letter, somebody may be, in those days, nobody even care. Somebody says, it's going to Port Harcourt. It's going to Port Harcourt. Okay, carry this letter. Go and give that to my daughter. Not knowing that the Port Harcourt is not just a village, it's a country of its own. And this letter may remain with that brother there for 1 month before he finally gets into the hands of the owner. So you sit down, they write again, reply. Somebody is coming to the village, they bring again. You read the letter and interpret it for. I started that from primary 4, but now I finished primary 6. I couldn't go to the secondary school immediately the following session because of lack of school fees. I will just sit down. Sometimes I will carry myself to the same primary school and start teaching some pupils. I am a pupil too. I just finished primary school, no secondary school yet. I go back and start teaching because at least I have something higher than them because they are just coming. But this is where I'm going. When I finally got admission into Form 1, what they call JSS1 today. My first school fees in the primary school was 40 naira. 40. This top 40 naira took us a lot of labor. Heavy labor, farm and cutlass jobs for somebody to go and pay my first school, secondary school. But I'd already bought from my farm produce. I'd already bought books. I'd gotten admission by myself. I'd bought books, exercise book, short knicker, sander, blue short knicker, white shirt. I'd already bought sander and white socks. All of those things done. But it remained the repayment of the school fees. But we have to go to the farm and farm for one woman who agreed to give us 40 naira. So we farmed, 5 of us. We farmed for this woman on my behalf. The 5 people, including me, 4 other people joined me. We farmed for this woman on my behalf from 8 a.m. till 3 p.m. in the afternoon. I will never forget. Because of the labor, the woman has to cook amala for us. We ate on that farm until we finished the portion of the farm. For how much? 40 naira. Then second term, like that, and then third term. And then I said the school fees was too much, 40 naira. Let me go to government school where it is cheaper. How much? 35 naira. The difference of 5 naira. It was big money then. Do you understand what I'm saying here today? That 35 naira at that time could buy 2 bundles of zinc. Yes, that 35 naira of those days could buy 2 bundles of zinc. So the school fees we were paying that time was bundles of zinc we were using. That would have been used to roof house. Praise God. One day I returned back and I said I needed more. Carry cassava, carry whatever on our. For weekend we go farm, go to the farm, get some farm produce, return back and then trek again for how many number of kilometers to our local government headquarters where the secondary school is. It's still there until today. I spoke with the principal of my school not too long ago. The man found record and he said they should get in touch. Do you understand? But this is where I'm going. My father didn't have enough. He had, but later there was an exchange. The money moved to the hand of my mother, who became a very big businesswoman. I asked, please, can I get 5 naira? That time, if they give me 5 naira, it will take me for 2 weeks. What did I say? 5 naira. It's not to buy Maggi and buy kerosene and then spend 3 naira and hide the other coin that is 1 naira under the carpet or under the bed and go. You save that one for next week. Just in case you go there and they didn't give you anything, you have something to fall back to. 2 naira in Form 2. So they say my mother said she will not give, and my father didn't have, and I had nothing in school. I said I'm going to go to school again, but I thank God. See, this God lost from the very beginning. Everybody had gone like David. The voice came to my spirit as a young person, young boy. This school you say you are not going now, you are not going again. You will be the first beneficiary tomorrow. That was what I heard. And then another thing that followed was that if you become successful, I'm giving you verbatim what I heard. If you become successful tomorrow after school, before you will buy anybody a pair of trousers more than 10 by yourself. So between you and the person who will have one, that you that will have 10, and you that will have 10, if you see you lose, who will lose? I carry my bag, with or with nothing. I can roast yam and eat yam, go to school and study and continue from there. But if you look at me today, those things are not written in my body. If you look at me today, until I told you this story, you won't know that I passed through that process. I will talk more on that shortly. Am I communicating here today? So you prepare for the future by taking advantage of the present. Don't say there is nothing in the present. If you discard the present, you are forfeiting the future. Having said that, what are scriptural examples of those who passed through preparation to the future? I wanted to give 2 examples, but while preparing the message, I realized that it has become too elaborate, too voluminous. So I will spare the second example. For today, we might look at it next time. Like as I said, I realized that this preparation matter is a bundle of series from what I have already received. The second example I wanted to look at was the example of Jephthah. Jephthah was rejected by his brethren because they said he was a son of prostitute. Go away from us, you son of prostitute. I read and I realized Jephthah did not complain. He did not insult anybody. He never uttered a word. He left into a corner and prepared himself. But the time came Those who said, go away from us, you are a son of a prostitute. They are the one who came and said, come and lead us. He went, they told him, get out of us. Maybe I'll preach the full message next time. He went and cooked himself and waiting for them to return. He said, I have no future with you. He said, I am a nobody. Let me go and cook myself. I will be needed tomorrow. He prepared himself and they returned back to him. Beloved, you are talking too much. You are replying people too much. What you need is preparation, personal development. I may not be needed today, but if I prepare, I will be needed tomorrow. Scriptural examples of those who pass through preparation to the future. The example we are looking at today is Joseph. Genesis 37 verse 5 and then in verse 9. And Joseph dreamed a dream, that is a future. And he told it his brethren and they hated him yet the more. He dreamt a dream. He told his brethren and they hated him yet the more. Verse 9. And he dreamed yet another dream and told it his brethren and said, behold, I have dreamed a dream again. I will dream a dream more. And behold, the sun and the moon and the 11 stars made obeisance to me. The dream and more dreams. Not just dream, sleep and wake up. The future. That same Joseph arrived at the future that he dreamt in Genesis 41 verse 38 to 44. And Pharaoh said unto his servant, can we find such a one as this is? A man in whom the Spirit of God is. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, for as much as God has showed thee all this, there is none so discreet and wise as thou art. Thou shalt be over my house, and according unto thy word shall all my people be ruled. Only in the throne will I be greater than thou. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, see, I have set thee over all the land of Egypt. And Pharaoh took off his ring from his hand and put it upon Joseph's hand, and arrayed him in vestures of fine linen, and put a gold chain about his neck. And he made him to ride in the second chariot which he had, and they cried before him, bowed the knee, and he made him a ruler, made him ruler over all the land of Egypt. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, I am Pharaoh, and without thee shall no man lift up his head or foot in all the land of Egypt. He had a future, and he arrives at the future. The question therefore is, what was Joseph's preparation? We have heard people saying that Joseph became a prime minister in Egypt without certificate. Yes, he wasn't schooled. That he arrived the palace without educational qualification. Yes, that Joseph became a prime minister without a curriculum vitae, CV. Yes. What was Joseph's preparation? He didn't have qualification. He didn't have academic qualification. But Joseph had preparation qualification. Preparation qualification. So what was the preparation of Joseph? Number one is the experience of envy and hatred from his brethren. In Genesis 37 and in verse number 3 to 4. He said, now Israel loved Joseph more than all his children because he was the son of his old age, and he made him a coat of many colors. And when his brethren saw that their father loved him more than all his brethren, they hated him and could not speak peaceably unto him. They hated him because of the future. They hated him. Beloved, if you have a future, your future may attract hatred. And the worst of it all, that the envy is from your root. The hatred is from your root. But if you have a future, and your future attracts envy and hatred, never mind. Why do you say that, Pastor? If you can handle hatred today, you can handle greatness tomorrow. That was why it was a preparation. If I can handle envy and jealousy today, if I can handle envy and hatred today, then I can manage greatness tomorrow. Because what they are seeing and they are envying about is just little. What about tomorrow? So I need to manage the envy and hatred today. so that I can gain tomorrow. So it was a preparation. So the hatred you are experiencing today, you may think that they just hated you for nothing. It is a preparation. The things that are confronting you directly, from your uncle, from your father, from anybody, from your siblings. There are siblings that are even worse than witches and wizards who have been here and nothing is happening here. How can she marry before us? Why will she be the first graduate? Beloved, if you can manage that envy and manage that hatred, you can manage greatness. It's a preparation. Because by the time the greatness comes tomorrow and you are not prepared by that envy and jealousy, you may miss your greatness tomorrow. So Jesus didn't have educational qualification for the job of a prime minister, but they had the experience of the management of envy and hatred. So when you see people attacking you today for just no cause, just know that it is preparation for the future. What was the preparation of Joseph? Number 2 is the experience of the pit. The pit is not the place where one should be. The place, not the place where one should be. The pit is never a prayer point of anybody, but it can be a preparation. In Genesis 37 verse 19 to 22, and the same brethren said one to another, behold, this dreamer cometh. Come now therefore, and let us slay him, and cast him into some pit, and we will say some evil beast has devoured him, and we shall see what becomes of his dream. Come now therefore, and let us slay him, and cast him into some pit, and we will say some evil beast has devoured him, and we shall see what shall become of his dreams. And Reuben heard it, and he delivered him out of their hands. Don't kill him. He delivered him out of their hands. And Reuben said unto them, shed no blood into this pit. They wanted to kill him first and then put him in the pit. And then Reuben, the eldest, said, no, don't kill him. Don't soil your hands with blood. Just put him in the pit, this particular pit, in the wilderness. Can you see that? What a preparation. He is inside pit, and on top of that, the pit is in the wilderness. Dry place, no water. You will not even expect anybody to pass for rescue in the wilderness. Please, before I go ahead, never forget that experiencing the pit is never the end of dreams. That you are experiencing a pit, you are passing through a pit experience, does not mean the dreams has ended. It is a preparation. Why do you say that, Pastor? Sometimes in an attempt to reach the future, you may pass through the lowest moment of life. I just told you how I passed through that lowest moment. It might not be the physical pit that they put Joseph. Lowest moment of life is that moment where there is no hope. That is, you have a future, yet you are hopeless. That lowest moment is that moment where there is no help. No help in view. Remember, he was in the pit, and this pit is in the wilderness. No hope of coming out of the pit. Lowest moment. No help physically in view in the wilderness. Who will pass through the wilderness? That lowest moment is that moment of life where you think you have come to the end of it all. And then suddenly, when your back was against the wall, then suddenly you thought it was over. Suddenly there was a way. They dropped him in the pit and left him hopeless, left him helpless. Or somehow Egyptians who went to get things, to buy palms from Israel to take to Egypt, I don't know if they heard his cry. They passed by. Who is in the pit? Beloved, whenever you are experiencing the lowest moment of your life, don't give up. It is only a sign that help is on the way. His preparation for the future took him through the pit. What was Joseph's preparation for the future? Number 3, the experience as a houseboy. The experience as a houseboy. Joseph was a houseboy. In Genesis 39 verse 1 to 4, he was a houseboy. And Joseph was brought down to Egypt by the same Egyptians. And Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh, the captain of the guard, the army commander of Egypt, and the Egyptian bought him of the hands of the Ishmaelite, which had brought him down thither. And then the Lord was with Joseph, and he was a prosperous man, and he was in the house of his master, the Egyptian. And his master saw that the Lord was with him, and that the Lord made all that he did to prosper in his hands. And Joseph found grace in his sight, and he served him, and he made him overseer over his house, and all that he had, he put it in his hand. Joseph was a houseboy. He was a house overseer. How many of us know that houseboys work hard? Houseboy, they work harder than the children of the house. House girls, they work harder than the children of the house. Why? They let them just suffer, and then the children of the house cross their leg to enjoy. But little did they know that it was a preparation. He was a houseboy, a house overseer, in preparation to become a nation's overseer. The way he prospered in the house of his master as a houseboy. When he became the prime minister of Egypt, Egypt prospered in his days. People were coming from other nations to go and buy goods. Surplus in Egypt. He learned it from house management. His preparation. So some of us, what we are going through today, it is not just because you are suffering. It's a preparation. It's a preparation for the future. So to complain in your preparation is to be detained in your future. So you see, he was handling the house affairs in order to handle the nation's affair. Remember, his dream hadn't died. What are you saying, Pastor? When you are focused on the future, you don't mind what people call you today. For Joseph, he was a houseboy. It's not the moment that matters. What matters is the future. You are reaching there. I thought you were saying a believing amen. So what was the preparation of Joseph? Number one, the experience of envy and hatred. It was a preparation for him. Number two, the experience of the pit, the lowest moment. Number three, the experience as a houseboy. And number four is the experience of rape accusation. While preparing this message, I almost started crying. That is all alone in my office. I'm preparing this message. Tears almost started dropping because of what people go through to reach the future. Joseph was accused of rape. If you read in Genesis 39 verse 7 to 14, and it came to pass after these things, and which things you will hear later, because the story is a continuation from verse 1. But this is okay. It came to pass after these things that his master's wife cast his eyes upon Joseph, and she said, please sleep with me. But he refused, and said unto his master's wife, behold, my master wanted not what he does not know what is with me in the house, and he had committed all that he had to my hand. Everything in this hand is my hand as a houseboy. There is none greater in this house than I, neither has he kept back anything from me but you, because you, thou art his wife. How then can I do this great wickedness and sin against God? And it came to pass, as he spake to Joseph day by day, that he hearkened not unto her to sleep with her, to lie by her, or to be with her. And it came to pass about this time that Joseph went into the house to do his business, and there was none of the men of the house in the house. You see, the devil is, who knows whether it was the woman who bribed the people to disappear first, or send them on an errand unnecessarily. You go here, go to Mama Janet and go and collect that scarf from me. If he's not there, wait for him. You go here, go and so because there was nobody in the house. She knew what she was looking for. And it came to pass about this time that Joseph went into the house to do his business, his normal houseboy work. And there was none of the men of the house that was there except him. And the woman caught him by his garment, saying, sleep with me. And he left his garment. He ran, left his garment in her hand, and fled and got him out. He ran out. And it came to pass when she saw that he had left his garment in her hand and has fled forth, that she called unto the men of the house. He knew where she sent them to. You people should come now. Saying, he, that is her husband, has brought in this Hebrew person, an Hebrew man, to mock us. He came in unto me to lie with me and cried with a loud voice. He came in to lie with me. He was telling the people the same story he told the husband. We'll look at you shortly. The story, accusation was a lie, but the evidence was true. That Joseph was attempting to sleep with her. That was a lie, but the evidence was Joseph's clothes. It's true. Joseph can't deny that it wasn't his clothes. And if it was his clothes, what was he doing? What was his clothes doing in the hands of his august wife? Beloved, while preparing for the future, never forget, you cannot pray off what heaven has destined you to go through. Why should we pass through all of this process in preparation? Heaven destined it for. So sometimes, beloved, we even need to ask God, oh Lord, I don't want to fail in the future. Please show me what I need to go through so that I can go through it now. Just show me what I need to go through. Because if you haven't gone through it, you can't break through it. What preparation are you talking about? It was a preparation to be trusted with bigger things. That is, you are managing a man's house and you are sleeping with his wife. How can I give you a whole nation? If I give you a whole nation, you will sleep with all the women of men, all the wives of everybody. It was a preparation. But Joseph said no. But this is my challenge. Yours may not be. Let me say this, that while preparing for the future, your future may take you through the Potiphar's house. It's not that you pass through the Potiphar's house that is the problem. It's what happened in the Potiphar's house. That your feet cross through the Potiphar's house. It's no news. The only news will be what happens in the Potiphar's house. Today, your own case might not be Potiphar's house, but Potiphar's daughter. Potiphar's daughter is passing through you. Are you refusing like Joseph, or you are accepting the Potiphar's daughter? For some of us, it's Potiphar's son is passing through your life. Are you refusing like Joseph, who refused to sell his future, or you're already selling the future now to the Potiphar's son or the Potiphar's daughter in immorality? You are exchanging your future. If Joseph slept with the Potiphar's wife, he would have lost the governance of Egypt. I heard a story from one pastor of one young girl in a church who came to meet him. I want to have a boyfriend. And his pastor said, no. Say, why? I said, no. How old are you? Say, I'm just about 18. No. After some time, the girl came again. Pastor, can I have a male friend as a friend? A male friend as a friend. And according to the pastor, you already knew where the sister was going. Because if you want to go to university sometime and JAM doesn't give you admission, you pass through prelim. Hello? Since the pastor said you can't have boyfriend, this one now is okay. I want somebody, man, a brother who can be my friend. From there, the boyfriend and girlfriend starts. Not too long after, the pastor said no. The girl went to one university afterwards because pastor said no, and the pastor is not available now. Anything can happen. She came back with pregnancy, still as a student, and then the pastor said that pregnancy can't be aborted. That type of pregnancy cannot be aborted. He said, if you drink anything, it will not go. The pregnancy will remain like that. And at the end of the day, she delivered, see how many set of twins. The future cut off because of the daughter or the son of Potiphar. They have sold the future. There's a lady, I don't know whether it's here today. I don't know the lady in question. I don't know if she's in this service now, but she comes to this church. Who got admission. From admission, he was admitted. University admitted her. He got herself admitted by Potiphar's son. At the end of the day, pregnancy came out. 100 level. 100. The brother also, 100. Pregnancy came out. And the brother ran out. She disappeared. Discontinued her admission to go to another place. Go and write JAM and start afresh. Now this sister has delivered the child. Can't buy food for the child. She's a student. Family abandoned her, rejected completely. It was mommy, my wife, that was giving her money for baby, to buy baby food, to buy whatever. Every Sunday or every time we will call, baby food has finished. So I told my wife, you are not the one who pregnant her. Let us do some things that will make some people get sense. Now he's claiming as if it's a right for whatever you are doing now. Where is a person? said he doesn't know his address. No address. I don't know if he remembered the name. And she may remember the name, but no address. From where? Doesn't know the origin. Nobody to trace. The person gone. Nothing. No communication. The guy has gone. He's all alone. Future at a bleak. What are you looking for? That you were tempted is not a problem, because every man is subject to temptation. There is no man that is too strong that can be tempted. No woman that is too strong that can be tempted. But what did you do inside? So that thing that you are doing today, that fornication, that immorality, that boyfriend and that man friend is a minus to your future. Looking at the story of Joseph, how he passed all of these things, including Potiphar's house. So do you know what it means to be accused of attempting to sleep with the chief of army staff? Attempting to sleep with the wife of the chief of army staff. That was automatic death. That was a death sentence. But I've realized from the story of Joseph that when God is passing you through a process, what kills others won't kill you. Finally, what was the preparation of Joseph? Number 5, the experience of prison. In Genesis 39 verse 19 to 12, when his master heard all the things that his wife said, it came to pass when his master heard the words of his wife, which he spake unto him, saying, after this manner did thy servant to me. That the servant was angry, was rough. Anger well up in him. Go ahead. And Joseph's master took him and put him into the prison, a place where the king's prisoners were bound, and he was there in the prison. But the Lord was with Joseph, and he showed him mercy and gave him favor in the sight of the keeper of the prison. Why did he need to go through prison preparation? What you don't feel, you can't heal. One of the reasons, apart from being a child of God, and God commanded us to be generous, liberality. I came from a family of liberality. But in addition to that, part of the things that fuels my giving, especially to the poor and the less privileged, is because I felt it. How I couldn't pay school fees. My last semester graduation, I had 2 exams to go, like today and tomorrow. Wake up only this morning, nothing left, remaining only 2 cups, 3 cups rather, or gari, no sugar, no salt, no coconut, no soya milk, nothing to put inside. All I had was my transport money, and if I ever touched it, it means I have to trek, which I cannot trek. The transport of how much is it, 30 naira or 40 naira, to return back to where you are going. I hardened my heart, drank gari in the morning, 1 cup, no sugar, went to school, finished exam, came back. After I had done TDB, I read throughout the night in the school, and then came home, went to shower, and then after that took gari, 1 cup, no sugar, went for the exam, finished, returned back in the afternoon. Remember, I have another exam tomorrow. I drank the other one as lunch. I drank the remaining cup of gari as dinner. The next day, I went to school. It was a morning exam, 3 hours, 8 to 11. I finished the exam, returned back to my room, and carried my bag with empty stomach to return back to where I came from. So you see, I have passion for students. I have passion for the poor. What you don't feel, you cannot heal. And most times, what you call prison is preparation, because inside prison lies the solution. All the future that Joseph ever dreamed couldn't have been accomplished if he didn't enter the prison. He wouldn't have met Pharaoh officers. All the thing he has suffered from his father's house, from accusation of everything, if he hadn't got into prison, there wouldn't have been a future. It was inside the prison that he finds solution for the future. Beloved, your prison is not your problem. Your problem is your decision. Why do you say that? No prison can kill a dreamer. No prison can keep a dream and a dreamer forever. So inside the prison, there can be a solution to your dreams. Beloved brothers and sisters, in conclusion, two things I will say. Number one, that the future is only ready for those who are ready. If you are not ready, please forget about the future. Number two, the future only prospers for those who are possessed. If you are not possessed, you cannot prosper in the future. It is said that there is no general without a scar. If you must be a general, there must be element of scars. There must be a symptom of your preparation. Rise up on your feet.